This episode of Captured Pittsburgh Darkroom has been made possible by generous contributions from Friendship, Perk and Brew, Small Universe, and Captured Identity. This episode of Captured Pittsburgh Darkroom includes music from today's guest, Danny Rectenwald, including this song, Miracle.
I like this casual lean I have going here too. This is so. What do you want? What's your game, Danny?
Just trying to make you feel comfortable with sitting next to me.
Is this the first time we've ever hung out without booze? Hey everybody, Adam Thomas here with Capture Pittsburgh Darkroom. Thanks for joining us once again. Today we're doing a little bit of something different, but it will be something we'll be continuing to do here for the foreseeable future. And that is, we're going to be talking with some folks outside of the photo community here in Pittsburgh. This time we are joined by Mr. Danny Rectenwald, Bastard Bearded Irishman, fame and fortune, I think, right? And he's here to talk with us not only about what's going on with BBI these days, but also a very, very cool solo record is coming out soon. So, Danny, thanks a lot for joining us today, man. Appreciate it.
Good to see you.
You too, man. You too. So, what's happening? What's new?
So, what's new?
Yeah.
In my life?
Yeah.
I got a new record. A new solo record, and also the Irishmen are putting out a record May 4th.
Fantastic.
On the Three Rivers.
Yeah.
The Gateway Clipper.
Big release party for that then.
Yeah. It's going to be great. Yeah. So we have Molly Alphabet opening on that, and it's going to be first for us. Although we're used to being on boats apparently. So,
larger boats.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Really huge cruises.
Right on. We're going to get to that in a second, so don't go anywhere. That's good stuff, believe me. But see, I can break the fourth wall.
Okay.
Just teasing, man. So what's the new album like this time compared to the past? Any curveballs in there? Or
oh boy, yeah. Well, you might have to just listen and see.
Right on.
So I'll tell you a couple things that are different. So it's our first formal sort of tribute to the reason we're a band. It was for a friend who passed away. We had this memorial show every year just in his honor and things like that. So all of our other albums were just songs that we sort of just threw together and, well, in a good way, like rehearsed and wrote together.
Some folks liked them here.
People liked them, seemed to like it. So this is our first formal tribute to the reason we started as a band. It's called Drinking to the Dead. And there's a whole lot of that sort of theme, appreciating your friends, past and present sort of relationships and things like that. So, and this is the first album that I will be singing lead vocals on. So I have four of my own songs that are on there. This is the first time.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I think that's a little different. And there's a really there's some comedy things in there as well.
That's awesome.
Especially we have an intermission on the album.
Oh yeah.
It's an intermission song.
Little hip hop move there then.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
The little vignettes. Yeah. That's cool. Where did you guys work on this one?
We did it at Mr. Small's.
Cool.
With Nate Campisi.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a good space down there.
It really is. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It used to be a television studio, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. Yeah. So we just wanted to see how tight and clean we could make this recording, So we really worked hard beforehand and in the studio. And I think the end product is definitely different and sounding better than most of our other recordings too.
Right.
I think just we're just older, more experienced, and put more time and effort into it.
You probably had a little more breathing room this time around too than before. Yeah.
And we're kind of last time, because we have two new members this time around on this album, and last other records we're working with guys that have the guys that have kids,
right,
and crazy jobs, and kind of like trying to
fit all that in.
Yeah, like jam it in for as little time as possible.
Yeah.
So, but I think the records are fine. You know, I think they're okay. But this is, you know, I just think we're just a little more experienced and
the maturity thing,
right?
Yeah, as a band, I mean,
yeah, and you hope it gets better and better
further
each album, as you go along your career.
That's cool. So back to the release show. That's May 4th. It's one of the Gateway boats, right?
Yeah, on the Gateway Clipper.
On the actual Clipper, or is it the Majestic, or?
I don't know.
It's one of those huge boats right on the river. Can't miss it.
Yeah, so you can find out if you go to their website or our website or Facebook or whatever.
Cool.
There's info there, and I'm sure they make it so you can't get on the wrong boat.
Right on.
I hope that there's they tell you which one to get on.
Or vice versa. The other problem could happen. You know, people show up dressed to the nines, like this isn't the couple's.
Yeah, cruise. Exactly. Yeah, that'd be great.
that should be a video right there. That should be a music video, like a mix up.
Yeah,
right.
If we were like the wedding band. Somebody was getting married.
Oh my God!
And we showed up. We're on the wrong boat,
right?
And then we were the wedding band.
That would be hilarious.
And they were like, "Where's Play That Funky Music, White Boy?" And we're like,
"No,
we don't know it. Sorry."
You're gonna get Celtic rock Prince covers all night,
exactly,
and like
That's
it, yeah." But yeah, like you said at the beginning, that it's not you're not a stranger to boats, so
no, yeah.
That I know when we talked a while back, you were telling me about a pretty awesome thing that happened this last cruise. For those that don't know, these guys do Caribbean cruises.
Norwegian, yeah.
Oh, Norwegian line, Norwegian Cruise Lines cruises with a whole host of different people. Yeah, you've done it a few times now, right?
Right. So it's a company called Sixth Man that runs it. I think they're owned by Norwegian now, but they have all kinds of different musical like themed cruises,
right?
And the one that we were on is with the band Train,
right?
So it kind of didn't make sense at first. We were like, you know, not sure how we would fit on this kind of cruise, you know, like Irish punk and Train, you know, and they had all kinds of other musicians, but and we were kind of ended up being like the comedy relief almost, or like the you know, I mean, those people on the boats, they really like to party. So I think we usually played like late at night and kind of just people could let loose. Yeah, exactly. So it worked out. So we won a competition to get on at first, and then we were asked back 2 more years.
Cool.
So, yeah, and they're probably not going to do one this year. At least Train is not going to do it. So we're hoping to get on another sort of cruise. There's a rock boat cruise. There's a Flogging Molly cruise. I don't think it's the same company though.
I think Carnival maybe. I don't know. Anyway, it's something that's one of the
Right.
But you got to sit in with one of my favorite guys the last decade or so.
That's crazy.
Yeah, can you fill everyone in on that?
Yeah, so Robert Randolph and the family band were on the cruise this time. And we played, and apparently he saw us and he liked the show and things like that. And one night, he asked me, he said, you know, I'm trying to put together, you know, a big, giant Uber jam sort of thing with a bunch of different musicians from the boat. And he was asking like what songs I would recommend doing or something like that. So, and I thought he was just kind of taking recommendations from anybody.
Right.
You know, and I was like, all right, give me a day. Let me think about it. And I said like, well, what about something like Folsom Prison? That's something that we do. Or what if we do something like The Wait, you know, from the band? And he wrote them down. He's like, all right, man, that's cool. I'll let you know. And then the next day I saw on the set list, Robert Randolph Family Jam or Mega Jam or whatever. Like they were both on the set list.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I can't maybe like listen. He took my advice, or I don't know. So, and then we were like, you know, I had to get down to hit the stage, like backstage to rehearse, and then we were like going through, like we're like everybody on the boat was like, or all the musicians were like in a huddle backstage, and then he was like, so you can sing The Wait, right? And I was like, I could sing a verse of it. I mean, maybe we can like throw it around. I don't know all the words, right? You know, so it kind of ended up being it was the last song on the set list, so it was like sort of the like I don't know one of the best songs like that of the whole entire boat. Some people said like that was their favorite moment of the trip. So I had everybody, like other singers from other bands, sing a verse. I sang the first verse, and then everyone else sang other verses, and then we all sang like together on the last one. So
that's awesome.
It was cool. And he got to play with Levon at his house or at the barn for the rambles. So it was really crazy. So
1 degree of separation.
1 degree, 1 degree of separation.
That's really cool, man. That's awesome.
It was crazy. It was really. We didn't do Folsom Prison though. Thankfully. Yeah.
That's been done.
It's cool. Yeah, exactly. And that was just like cliche. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was an amazing experience.
That's very cool. Man.
It's kind of like my entire bucket list. Check.
Yeah.
By doing that. That was it. It was crazy.
Near forward, it's all the denouement of
right.
Danny Rectenwald. We have to take a real short break here to pay some bills. So everybody hang with us for the next, minute or so. We'll be back to talk some more with Danny about the new solo record he has coming out shortly here. So don't go away. Be right back.
This episode of Captured Pittsburgh Darkroom was filmed at Friendship Perk and Brew. They're your source for fresh coffee, Pittsburgh beer, and food made from scratch from locally sourced ingredients. You can find them at 300 South Pacific Avenue in Pittsburgh. The next round of photographs will go up at the Captured Pittsburgh Shadyside Open Air Gallery on Saturday, May 5th. You can meet and greet the artists at 11 a.m., and we will get to see their photos at 11:30. Come see us at our gallery at 5507 Walnut Street in Shadyside.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming back. This is Adam, once again, Capture Pittsburgh Darkroom. And I'm sitting here with Danny Rectenwald, Bastard Bearded Irishman. And we just did, for those of you who didn't see the first half, go back and rewind. But if you want to wait on that, we were talking before about the new Irishman record. What's the title of the record again?
It's called Drinking to the Dead.
Drinking to the Dead. It's dedicated to their late friend who was part of the formation of the band.
No, just a high school friend.
Just a friend?
Yeah, just a high school friend.
Right. I'm going back a ways. You guys did that like mini doc a while back.
Right.
And I remember like that was the first time I even heard about that whole side of the story. I think that's really cool though.
Yeah, so he was just a good friend of all of ours, but he was in a band called Ragweed that put on that memorial show that started the formation of Bastard Bearded Irishman. So
that's awesome.
He was
in there
somehow.
Right. That's cool.
Right.
So the new solo record, very, very different. Like for those of you that are familiar with your work through the Irishmen, like there's those of us that are aware of the classical side of what you've done away from the band.
Yeah, yeah.
So is this the first time like you're kind of putting that out in this way?
So yeah, in this way, exactly. Yeah. So So guitar is my first instrument. I've always sort of been a guitar guy my whole life, and most people know me as a classical guitarist until I started the band, the Irishmen, and I played mandolin, and then everybody got to know me as a mandolin player.
Yeah.
But I'd always played gigs here and there on the side, weddings and stuff like that, classical guitar. So it's really my first sort of language, that I learned. So I've never recorded anything. I think it's mainly because of almost like I'm kind of a perfectionist. So it kind of took me a long time to feel like I wanted to put something out that I think people would like, which I think it's not necessarily a good thing. I wish I kind of put it out a lot sooner.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this would be my first solo album, just me, and I think it'll come as a surprise to a lot of people that I do that sort of thing. You know? I think people just see me as a punk rock mandolin player.
A sentence you never thought you'd say in your life.
Exactly. Right? Yeah,
that's probably the first time anybody's put it together.
Yeah, that's right. So I teach music. I teach college music. I teach guitar, and I have a master's degree in classical guitar.
Yeah.
So.
CCAC, right?
That's where I teach.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool. How long have you been doing that?
This is my second year, full year.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then I'll be on next year as well.
That's awesome.
If hopefully if people take my classes, that's
just scaring them down. Like, I know you can't play like this. So the new album is. I like the space on it. It's ambient. It's complete. It's not as. Like the Irishmen it's a lot of fun, but it's very dense.
Right.
And this just has this, I don't know, like for me, and I appreciate the preview tracks, by the way.
Sure, absolutely.
Inside Baseball, everybody. There's just there's this room almost in a way, like you're, like I like listen. I'm one of those old school people. I like listening on a good set of headphones, you know, like old school, like over the ear, and it felt like an immersion in a way for me. Like it was not coming at me. I was more of like in the middle of it, if that makes sense. So
absolutely.
I really, really enjoyed it. And I think people are going to dig it because, not just because, oh, it's Danny from the Irishmen. It's its own experience.
Right. I appreciate it.
So what brought it about? Like, I'm always like, I come from a musical family, and so I'm always interested in the stories, like behind songs, behind albums. Like, where did this one? Where was this coming from this time around?
So I wanted to do a solo album, and I didn't have any sort of idea for what I wanted to do, and I kind of didn't want to have just random songs put together, thrown together, just to have an album, you know.
Had to have a theme or a feel.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of classical guitarists, they have like Viva Latina or whatever like that. And it's like, you know, like this Latin music or Brazilian music or Bach or something like that. Or, I don't know. Things like that. So I never really liked that sort of style. You know what I mean? So it seems kind of corny to me at times.
It seems to box it in too much too. There's only, if you've set that as the idea, then you know you can't go outside these parameters.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So how the idea for this one came about is I've always been interested in meditation and yoga and things like that, just for settling my own thoughts and trying to live in balance and things like that. So my sister-in-law had gotten certified to teach yoga. She'd been training. She was like, you got to do an album or something so I can play it for my yoga studio. You know what I mean? So you got to do something. So she just wanted to have something. And I was like, you know, maybe that's a great idea. I should.
That's very cool.
Have something. Either it kind of started as I was going to do it for a yoga class or something, like music for yoga or something like that. But it kind of turned into, it's really just music for relaxation or meditation or yoga or doing. I mean, I think it's a nice enough album you can just listen to in your car or just, you know, sit in your living room, just put it on and listen, you know. So it's it's very meditative, sort of like you said, ambient.
But it's not like background noise.
I was going to say, you know, it's not background.
It commands attention, but in, like I said, a very immersive sense, you know. You're placed right in the middle of each of these little scenes, if you will. And that's always, to me, the best music. The music that transports you like that is far more interesting than just being entertained.
Sure. I appreciate that. Yeah. And I wanted it to be, because I was afraid at first. I was like, this is going to be, I don't want to be like background music. I don't want it to sound like this is just background music. Because I feel like the way I described it makes it seem like that. But there's some really... So some of the songs are mine, like my own compositions, and I'm trying to be very, like have the songs be very earnest and touching and very like soulful, and really to get, you know, it's very emotional but also settling at the same time, you know. And then I also have some arrangements. I have a song, "The Rainbow Connection." And I Don't Want to Live on the Moon. I think that's from Sesame Street.
Yep. That was a Bert and Ernie song. Yeah. Yep. That's right.
So there's things like that. Like they're really nice. I think they're quality arrangements that it's, you know, and songwriting that it's not just going to be background music.
Yeah.
But
that's awesome. Where did you record? This one was what, Chet's place?
This is at Chet's in Chet Vincent's living room.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chet Vincent and the Big Band.
Right.
Great band if you guys don't know them yet. One of the highlights around this area for sure.
Yeah.
So what was it like working on that scale compared to what you guys were doing at Mr. Smalls?
Right, sure. So it was great. I mean, I loved home recording just because it you can be more, I don't know, I guess hopefully you can be comfortable anywhere, but it had a very comforting sort of feel to it, and I was able to kind of play more comfortably, and even be, you know, like hear what it would sound like if you were in the room and I was, you know, trying to draw you into my world, this
Right.
meditative sort of world. So I think in the living room really kind of helped contribute to the feel.
Definitely.
Album,
You're not like that that on the clock thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like when you can tell, especially when I don't know so much as solo artists, but like a lot of times a band, when they make that jump, and they're like in a quote real studio for the first time, it almost becomes too methodical because they're trying to beat the clock in a way. You know what I mean? Time's money, and whereas that home thing, there is especially for something like your solo record, like to have that relaxed feel, sort of permeate all of it.
And we could make decisions because a lot of times in the studio you have to make decisions just for time purpose and money reasons, like you said. But in the living room, I was able to do anything I wanted to, take as much time, as many takes as I wanted to.
Yeah,
I'm sure Chet and Daniel Dickinson, who is the guitar player in Chet Vincent in the big band, he was, I guess, the engineer.
Oh, right on.
And we were all three of us were sort of working together on it equally. So they helped me to make decisions musically, and also editing and all that stuff. So we were able to take our time and really do it right. And it was great. They were great guys to work with. They're obviously incredibly creative people, and they were able to help me at times because I would kind of get a little like, is this coming across or whatever? So, because like as a musician, you're always critical of yourself, and it's important. It's an important feature or an important attribute to have. But they were able to help me
get past
make
that
decisions and know what's coming across.
That's cool.
And things like that. So
that's very cool.
Yeah.
So do you have a release date or at least a tentative release window in mind yet?
So just this summer sometime. Yeah. So we have to get a lot of things in place. So it's being mastered still right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just going to be, I hope, for early summer. But it'll probably be more like somewhere like midsummer, maybe August.
Yeah.
But I want to get a video, obviously. I need some photos still.
Wink.
But yeah, exactly. But and just give enough like sort of runway for it to take off for people to know about it.
Yeah.
And things like
that head of steam beforehand. Yeah, definitely. That's like the thing I used to tell bands back in the day was, you need at least 2 months. Lead. You have to. You know what I mean? The news cycle takes a while.
Some people take much longer than that.
Yeah. That's like if you're doing hurry up, like 2 months. Like because there were so many people that used to like, oh, we're done recording. Okay, it's gonna be out in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Okay.
And nobody knows.
Good luck, making your recouping off that. Yeah. But so anything else popping up besides that? I mean, I know we got to wrap up a little bit here on time, but
I don't think so. Yeah, so we have the Irishmen album coming out, and I'm gonna have some release party as well.
Cool.
For it, so it's gonna be kind of unique, a meditative space. As well, to kind of fit the feel of the album too. So
that's a good idea.
We'll see, so we'll see where it's not gonna necessarily just be at a bar with glasses clanking and things like that.
Has anybody ever done the rooftop of a building?
Right. Yeah.
Oh wait, that's been done.
Some
band in England did that once.
I might do that.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. You get to like, see, you can do it like the top of the U.S. Steel building.
Really cool. I mean, that'd be a good video, man. Yeah. Right.
We'll get our drone guy. Mike Lever was in here this morning from Drone Division.
Can they go that high?
He's got his FAA license.
Oh my god! So he can fly.
Yeah, this is an internal reference within our show, right here. No, he does great work.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's cool.
He could totally do that.
Right.
Yeah,
that'd be neat.
We'll have to figure that out. But anyhow, hey man, thank you so much for stopping in.
Thanks for
really,
asking
really
me.
appreciate it.
Thanks for asking me to do this.
Sure, anytime, man.
It's cool.
We'll have to have you back whenever the solo record's finally out. It'd be nice to preview a little bit of it.
Yeah.
So very quickly, can you let folks know where to learn about what's going on with you?
With me, yeah.
And with the Irishmen both, if they're new to one or the other or both. Yeah.
So you can find Bastard Bearded Irishman things on Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. Everything is Bastard Bearded Irishman. So either at Bastard Bearded or at Bastard Bearded Irishman and bastardbeardedirishman.com. And so my stuff is all at Danny Rec. So DANNYREC. And on Facebook, I'm Danny Rectenwald.
Yes.
The full spelling of my name, which I'm kind of wondering, maybe I should shorten it. I don't know.
Just
go with it. Yeah.
People
know me
name.
as that already.
Yeah, exactly. That's it for now. Capture Pittsburgh Darkroom. Mm-hmm. Really appreciate everybody joining us today. Just so you guys know, special thanks, of course, as you saw during our break, to Friendship, Perk, and Brew. This amazing space. You got to come down here to the Friendship neighborhood sometime and check this place out. It's great craft beer. Some of the best coffee you're going to have in the city, all fresh made food. It's fantastic. And we can't thank Nick and the staff here enough for allowing us to invade their space today. It's been great. So thanks again, Danny.
Yes.
Take care, man.
Good to see you. Thanks.
All right. You too, man. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you next time.
Captured Pittsburgh Darkroom is produced by Jason Fait, Adam Thomas, and Jason Kodat. Captured Pittsburgh Darkroom is a Captured Cities production, copyright 2018.